What killed your feelings for someone you were once madly in love with?
They shattered the image of who I thought they were.
Hey people, how you doing today? It's your girl Destiny here and welcome back to my channel. How you are doing? Hope you guys are doing great. So today's video is the part 2 video of the video I posted previously. So the video I posted previously is the video of this sister who came online to ask the question, what was that thing the person you were so madly in love with did that made you fall out of love with it, that made you not see them and kill the feelings you have for them? So this video just struck a bigger conversation which has got a lot of people talking. So the previous video was women reacting to this and sharing their story of when was that light bulb, when was that thing this person did that they were so madly in love that killed the feelings they had for them. I went ahead and shared my own story. So go check out that video so you get the women's reaction to this. This video is the men reaction to this. So men are going to share their own story. I decided to split this video because I feel like the men's story are kind of a little bit different and the type of story they were telling was kind of different. Okay, so just go ahead and check out the women's own. Their amazing story time there. So go check it out. So let's go hear the men's own thoughts on this and then we'll come back and talk. But before we go and share the men's own, I'm just going to give you a sneak peek of what the sister said so you get full context of the type of video, okay, and how the women look. Okay, so let's go check it out.
What killed your feelings for someone you were once madly in love with? I'll go first. They are the reason I asked God to take my baby back. Part of why I loved that person was because they gave me a sense of security. The first time we ever had a pregnancy scare, I said no, I wouldn't keep it. We're not in a real committed relationship. We're not married, and I don't want to be abandoned, so no, I wouldn't keep it. And they assured me that if something like that ever happened, they'd want the baby, they would be my partner in figuring it out. And then one day, I was late, and then I was very, very late, and then I was sick, nauseous, and then it was time to have a conversation. And when I tried to have that conversation, they wouldn't even look at me. They grew so quiet and just waited for me to leave. They didn't say anything. And then ignored every phone call and text message I sent them for 2 weeks. So I prayed every single day that the ancestors would do what I didn't have the strength to do. And on the 5th day, blood. What killed your feelings for someone you were once madly in love with?
So one time I met this girl and she was amazing and I fell in love with her almost immediately when I met her. But we knew each other for about a month and then we decided to start dating. And about a week into our relationship, I asked her, I was like, hey, why don't you ever want to spend the night here? Or why don't you ever want me to go to your place and spend the night there? And she was like, I don't really want to because I talk in my sleep. And I was like, okay, I mean, that's not that bad. She was like, yeah, but when I do talk in my sleep, I say really scary and disturbing things. And I was like, I mean, how bad could it be? So I eventually convinced her to spend the night. And she was like, okay, if I do start talking in my sleep, don't wake me up because it scares me a lot and I get really disoriented and I don't like it. So I was like, okay, I won't wake you up. She was like, if it gets to be too much for you, just go and sleep on the couch and I won't be mad. So I was like, okay. So that night, it was maybe 1 o'clock in the morning. She was asleep. I was still laying in bed awake. I think I was anticipating something to happen and I was trying to figure out what she meant by all this. And I noticed the bed was moving around a little bit, so I flipped over to go check on her and she was sat fully up and staring right at me. So I stared back at her, didn't say anything, and eventually she said something and it was in like a lower, raspier version of her voice, and she said, I'm going to eat the skin off your bones. So I just stared at her. I didn't say anything, and eventually she laid back down, and about a minute later, while she was still laying down, she said, if you don't sleep on the couch, you'll be dead by morning. So I was like, okay, I don't know if I can be in this room anymore. So I got up and I went into the living room and I sat on the couch and I could hear her through the wall. She was like wheeze laughing and saying, come back to bed. Come back. Or do you want me to come to you? Come back. And I didn't know what I was going to do if she like walked out into the living room. I didn't know if I was just going to leave the apartment completely or like try to wake her up. but we talked about it in the morning, and eventually we just started talking less and less, and now we just don't talk to each other anymore. So, yeah.
What killed your feelings for someone you were once madly in love with?
So there's a little bit of a story to this. The first time me and my ex broke up, I tried anything and everything just to get her back. So we were still living together when we first broke up. So it was a little bit easier to try and get her back. Shortly after of trying to get her back, we became friends with benefits. But I also knew that wouldn't bring her back either. So I started going on dating apps as she was also talking to other people. Now there was this one girl I was talking to, and you know, for a while I was unhappy because my ex left me, but it was the first conversation in a long time where I felt happy. So needless to say, those benefits with my ex did stop because I was talking to another girl. And of course, the day that I am supposed to meet this girl, the day of, my ex breaks down and she starts crying and she says everything that I want to hear. So I did something that I'm not very proud of, and I don't suggest that anybody else does this because it does hurt. But I ghosted the girl that I was talking to, and I feel ashamed till this day about it. But I ended up getting my family back. But that's not the rest of the story. 4 months later, she ended up leaving me again. But she wasn't going to tell me about it. And I had a gut feeling for weeks, and I continued to ask her if anything was wrong. Like if we were okay or not. And of course, she would continue to tell me that everything is okay and that we were fine. But you know when you get a gut feeling like there's gotta be something wrong. I'm not proud of it, but I ended up going through her phone, and needless to say, she was trying to find a place to live so she could leave me. So being strung along, dragged down, and physically torn apart, and also given false hope, absolutely killed my feelings for her. Yeah.
What killed your feelings for someone you were once madly in love with?
I always learn a lot about people when I tell this story based on how they react. So I tried dating someone when I was 21 and they were 19, and it blew up in my face. They basically gave me an STI and ghosted me in a matter of, I don't know, just a month or so that we dated. Thankfully, the STI was curable, but I did not get any answers from them because they disappeared off the face of the planet after this horrible situation that I wouldn't wish on anyone. But you know what? At the end of the day, whatever. I got over it. And it didn't affect my health, and any more than that, and I was good. So fast forward, several years, and I bump into her again with her mom, and her mom always loved me. In fact, her mom said at one point that you are the best that my daughter's ever done and may ever do. And that's intense and weird. But you know what? You have a good connection with mom sometimes. That's how it is. She wanted to date again. She wanted to, at the very least, offer me dinner and apology. I think that's where it started. I don't think maybe her intentions were to date again, but lo and behold, we get talking. I've never had such an amazing, sincere apology, and me falling into a trap that I think anyone has who's been abused associates apologies with recompense, and that's not the case. So we date for about 3 more months. It's lackluster. It really is. And I try to break up with her and tell her, she doesn't really meet my needs. She doesn't meet me at my level emotionally. And we can go our own ways, but she wants me to give her another shot. And so we do. And we last another 2 years, or I think like another year and a half or so. And at that point, she is always putting me on my back foot, basically never giving me any emotional reassurance, pretty much, I don't know, intentionally or maybe unintentionally, I don't know to this day, breaking me down in such a way where I'm the one who's absolutely not all there emotionally. I definitely wanted to end this relationship with dignity. And so we saw a couples therapist, as I do with almost all my relationships at the end. And we had a trip planned to Spain, and the therapist said, go to Spain, see how it goes, and come back and see how you feel. So we're in Spain, and we know we're on the rocks, and we're having drinks with one of her good friends, and her good friend's complaining about having no satisfaction with any men she's ever been with. And my partner offers me up and says, you should sleep with Charm. He's a good lay. He'll take care of you. And that's when I knew I would have no feelings for this person again. And that's that.
What killed your feelings for someone you were once madly in love with?
Nothing. If I loved you once, I probably still love you. And the truth of the matter is, I probably still miss you. But here's one of the best things I learned in life. How you feel about someone is not the same thing as how they make you feel. And it's all about respecting yourself.
What killed your feelings for someone you were once madly in love with?
This isn't the killing of feelings, as I still love this person, and so I will always love this person because they've held such a deep place in my heart. But it was a realization of what the relationship is versus what we're trying to work towards. And once that happened, I realized that it was incredibly unhealthy and it just had to end. So the story goes, I was in Marks and Spencer's because I was feeling extra Tory that day or something like that, and I saw two people, I assume husband and wife, and they're going down the aisle, and the husband said something, and the wife turned around, looked at him, and he put up his hands, and he said, sorry. And in that moment, I said, that looks like a flinch. And then I also said, that looks like me. And that's when I realized that in the face of their anger, my instinct giving up and apologizing wasn't keeping the peace. It was an emotional flinch, and it wasn't who I was. And because of that, I was unable to tell them my true thoughts or my true feelings, and I wasn't able to stand up for myself, which was incredibly unhealthy, and it made me realize that the relationship kind of had to end. But since then, I've learned to stand up for myself and put up boundaries and realize just because I love somebody and want a relationship to continue doesn't mean I should allow myself to be an outlet for their anger. I am very confident in my ability now to say to someone if they're yelling or calling me names or just being mean to me, to say, you will not speak to me like this. Like, I'm a grown person. I will not speak to you like this. You don't speak to me like this. Come on, you just give it a take.
What killed your feelings for someone you were once madly in love with?
They shattered the image of who I thought they were. And if you're new here, I'm a narcissist. I actually have narcissistic personality disorder. So a lot of narcissistic people, when they are love bombing you, they create this perfect image of you in their heads. They think they were actually in love with you, just like I thought I was in love with one of my exes. I created this perfect image of her, just like the perfect person for me. I felt like I had found my soulmate. Here comes the love bombing process and things like that. It was super hot and heavy for a few months. Everything is moving super fast, just like typical narcissistic types of relationships do. One day she just opened her mouth and I looked at her differently from that point forward. Almost instantly, I didn't care about it anymore. I was just like, why am I with you? I started questioning my love for this person. I started to resent this person because they did not live up to this image I had of them in my head. A lot of narcissists and toxic people build this false image of you that you can never ever live up to. Once this image is shattered, they will stop love bombing you, they will start to devalue you, and they will treat you like a stranger. It's like turning off a light switch in a relationship.
What killed your feelings for someone you were once madly in love with?
I saw her kissing her best friend during the Barbie movie premiere, and that was pretty much it, yeah. And then she told me that I was just overreacting, but like, you don't shove your tongue down someone else's throat, you know? No.
Please go down in the comment section and share your thoughts about all of the stories that you've heard. So go down in the comment section and share yours. And if you would love to share yours, go on and share yours down in the comment section. Love to read from you guys. You guys know that already, right? So go down in the comment section and share your thought. But please keep it respectful. Here on the channel, we're allowed to disagree, but we do it in a respectful way. Okay? So you know, see why I kind of like separate the men and the women's zone. I feel like the women's zone has more of a lot of emotional connection and a lot of long suffering and all that. But the men's zone, somewhere even funny and somewhere creepy and all that. But hey, it's their truth. They are telling their truth, and it's fine. For me, I just feel like there's always that feeling. As much as you can love somebody, like the one of the people that stitched for the men says, like the way you love somebody, how you love somebody, does not mean that's how the person loves you. And that's okay. You only have control of what you feel, how you feel, what other persons feel, and how they do their thing. You don't have control over. So you need to have self-respect for yourself and put yourself first and take care of yourself. And if that situation, that relationship, friendship, family member is not working out, just quietly walk away, but always identify that. Anyway, I don't really have much to say about this because it's the men's reaction, so let's just leave it at that, okay? So please go on in the comment section and share your thoughts. I'd love to know what you think about this video, this conversation down in the comment section. I'd love to read your own story, okay? And let me know which of this story got you, which one was more funny for you, and which one can you relate to. For me, the one that the girl, they slept over at the girl's place, yeah, that one got me laughing. But yeah. Anyway, guys, go on and share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation, because that's what we do here. We have banging conversation. So go ahead and share your thought and share this video. With that all said, guys, give this video a thumbs up, smash the like button, because this helps YouTube to push out my content for more people to see, and that will be you supporting your girl. With that all said, guys, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Deuces.